Welcome to this video series ahead of Creative Operations Los Angeles 2022. In this series, we're talking to some of the speakers from the event, asking them key questions as a little preview of what you can expect at the Lowe's Hollywood Hotel on October 25th. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by two speakers from the Walt Disney Company, Reilly and Nick Zappas. Nick and Megan, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I'll get straight into the questions. What do you think are the biggest issues facing creative operations professionals today?
Well, I think it lands in a couple of different places. I think that what we have seen and being at many agencies, that like alignment across functional roles and responsibilities tends to waver from one agency to the next, and it can be confusing if you're not setting some precedent and protocol around what those are. Resource planning and forecasting, so you can do the work that you have and make sure you're going to do the work that's coming towards you, and make sure that you're prepared for that. And then communication tools has become a new glitch in the way that we work, right? A lot of people have across different enterprises, have different resources and tools that they use. And if you don't have some set guidelines around when those tools should be used and how they should be used, it does get a little sticky and you can lose information.
It's interesting. I wonder as well, and maybe this is, I guess, related. Maybe this is more of a question for Nick as well. What do you think are the most important elements for making the creative workflow of a business more structured and streamlined?
Well, it's the biggest element for me, I think, with creative workflow is that you really need to get the process aligned across the entire agency, across all job types, so that there is agreement among the entire agency for how it works. Secondarily, what you really need is that you need alignment at the top of those processes, and that approval gets pushed down through the entire agency, and that there's accountability so that they can make sure that the processes are still working.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, you'll both be speaking at this event on October 25th, Creative Operations Los Angeles. Megan, you're on a panel in New York with us at Henry Stewart. I guess the question is, why do you think that these events are so important for the industry?
For the industry, I think it's more about idea sharing. You know, it's nice to know from the position of creative operations that you're not in it alone, that the struggles and the challenges and the hurdles that you're facing, other people are facing them too. And you can learn from other people and how they've managed and gotten through those successfully, just to give ideas and bring it back to your agency. And then the networking. I love seeing people that I know and meeting new people, and, you know, running into old faces is always a good time. So I love those things.
And I guess it's just sort of a discussions with people and learning about ways that people have succeeded, ways that people have failed. Obviously, your talks about failing forward at the event in October, so that's quite nice. I must point out, you've obviously both from the Walt Disney Company. The event's taking place in Hollywood, famed for its film industry. I guess I'll open the floor on this one. But what are your favorite films and why?
Well, for me, I will keep it in the Disney family. My favorite film that Disney has made is Tron. I think it is an incredibly innovative film. I think that it was really revolutionary and influenced a lot of future filmmakers, while kind of representing like nerddom in a way that hadn't really occurred very much in the past. So it's just one of those films that really, you look at it now and a lot of people can kind of push it aside, but if you put it in the context of when it was made in the early 80s, you can see why it kind of changed film, even though it wasn't necessarily the biggest hit when it came out.
Interesting choice. I wonder what Megan, do you have the same interest in film? Have you got a different choice?
I have a different choice, although I do appreciate everything that he said about Tron. Star Wars for me is really where it lands, and it's kind of in that same realm. You know, from back in the 70s, there was always this amazing and intriguing storyline, and you always found a character that you could attach yourself to. And I don't think there's a bad one in the bunch, and the effects were always so great. You know, you're watching it on the big screen and it's just amazing. But the storyline about good versus evil and love versus hate is always a good message there. But the Rise of Skywalker is in my new realm of favorites. So
I can't think of a good pun. Maybe something like you can use the Force and come to our event this October.
that's right. That's right.
Come and see Megan and Nick this October 25th at the Lowe's Hollywood Hotel, Creative Operations, Los Angeles. Tickets are on sale at the moment. You can book through the Henry Stewart website. Thank you, Megan and Nick, for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you there.